let's find out about something called SAP AppGyver. Hi, I'm Thain. Welcome to another SAP CodeTalk, and I have Martin Grasshoff with me. Martin, thank you for joining me. It's been a while, you and I, but it's nice to get back together.
It feels like it was just seconds ago.
Ah, excellent. Definitely. So AppGyver, as we said, it's I've been hearing about it. I've been seeing some blogs. I've been seeing some information. What is it all about? Tell us a bit of the story. Introduce us to it.
Sure. So AppGyver is a recent acquisition that SAP did a couple of months ago. And it's a small startup based and located in Finland. And AppGyver is basically a development tool, but a very special one. It's a development tool without coding. So you can build your applications without writing a single line of code, which increases the developer efficiency. And that's what we do in SAP Extension Suite.
Okay. I'm assuming that, what you've actually just mentioned then is actually why it's so special, why SAP acquired them.
Yeah, so obviously the whole idea of having such a no-code tool is to increase the developer's efficiency. It's maybe it is not suitable for all of the use cases we have. And since it's also a startup, we want to include that into the SAP ecosystem, right? So that it better connects to SAP systems, that the security is aligned and everything. But AppGyver has some special capabilities. First of all, it's community driven. So it has a vast community where people really engage, developers, non-developers in a vibrant community. Mm-hmm. But not only that, it also has community in its heart, meaning the product itself is community driven. I give you an example, or maybe two. So usually what you expect from a no-code tool or any 4GL tool that we had for years is that you have a drag and drop layout designer for your screens, right? That's the basic stuff these things should have. But AppGyver here is different. Obviously, it has these capabilities, but it's community driven. So you can build your own components and contribute that to the community. Right now, there's some kind of publishing process. And then AppGyver takes it into the product and publishes your product, your component, right? So that other non-coders can benefit from that and integrate that into your tool. And I think that's a cool thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. You're speaking to somebody who years ago used a 4GL Power Builder, SAP Power Builder, which is, sort of has gone onwards. But yeah, I love, as a coder at heart, maybe not no code. That's gone a little bit too far for me.
Not yet.
So please continue, Martin.
Yeah. So there's more. So not only UI controls can be shared, but also integration aspects like API consumption and so forth, right? And that makes AppGyver, community driven. But not only that, the overall developer experience is pretty straightforward. So personally, my first experience after the acquisition, and when I was tasked to being, hey, you're the PM for AppGyver now. Yeah, that's how it happens. I was going to appgyver.com, creating a login, and after 5 minutes, I could start my first project. So no installation, everything. That was pretty straightforward as well. And then I set myself a task to, hey, why don't I get to some data from a backend, right? From an OData backend, preferably, and then build my first application. Just read a list of data, and I was guided through that process by an inbuilt help system at the very bottom of the screen, of my editor screen, which told me also and tracked automatically my learning progress. So suddenly I created a new screen. I used the data connectivity feature to connect to my backend API. And suddenly I got a message, hey, you achieved 40% of your learning experience with AppGyver. I said, hey, what? I click on that. Yeah, and then it opens up and shows me more things to learn with video explanations, how to use app variables, how to use flow elements. That was pretty amazing. Yeah? So basically, I was able in 20 minutes without going to the help site to build an application that consumes an API and displays a list. Yeah, without any prior knowledge of AppGyver.
Yeah, that's a fantastic first experience. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
True.
Martin, I should have asked you earlier in our code talk, because you and I, when we first met each other, was more in the mobile section. Is AppGyver a mobile development or no, a mobile no code tool, or is it, what is the platform we're actually building for, or is it cross-platform?
It's actually cross-platform, and it supports web applications. And basically, you build React Native, React applications for web and React Native applications for iOS and Android, and it even supports Android TV. So basically, with this no-code tool, you also have a cross-platform multi-experience tool at hand.
Great. Well, I can't think of a better PM to be in the hands of, or AppGyver to be in the hands of. So what, obviously we don't talk about too much futures, on Code Talk, but what is the plan for AppGyver going forward?
Yeah, first of all, right now, we want to make sure that AppGyver is onboarded into the SAP BTP as a tool, which is then accessible to everybody on BTP. And also the whole, we want to bring it together, not as a standalone tool, but to join it together to cover not only the pro coder with the existing business application studio, which we further invest in, but we bring it together with the business application studio to create a cohesive offering for pro coder, low coder, and no coder. So the whole continuum should be covered by one tool, and AppGyver is one puzzle piece of that.
Okay, well, this is Code Talk. I've got to ask you this question because I'm sure the listeners, the developers out there in our community will be shouting the question at the screen at the moment. If they want to try this out, how can they get it?
So that's already possible. Just go to appgyver.com, sign in, and then you have the community edition for free. And the community edition has essentially the same feature set as the productive. So you're not missing anything, right? So just go ahead, watch the movies, watch the explanation movies that are around, and really it's mind-blowing.
Excellent. Well, I have you now. You've confessed to being the go-to man. So I'm sure in true spirit of Code Talk, we'd like to have you back in the future, maybe delve a little bit deeper. This was the 25,000 feet view. We want to get a little bit closer, maybe you can show us a few little things and go deeper. But for now, Martin, thank you for joining me on Code Talk.
It was a pleasure.